I spent 24 hours analyzing the new Pokemon Pokopia expansion pass announced yesterday in the Nintendo Direct. Let's have a look at it together. So the trailer opens with this very summer-like vibes in this oceanic world, which is perfect in my opinion because probably the company wanted us to have a more summer-like experience since we are approaching summer, and so we see our character or the Ditto entering this underwater world. So as we immediately see, the character has now a bubble around his head that allows him to breathe underwater, allowing him not only to finally dive, but also to construct underwater, which is something I was literally craving for. As we can see, we have many different kinds of new furniture and new things, and this is what we are going to analyze next. So first of all, as you can see, we have many new different kinds of plants, new kinds of different leaf age, and now this is especially rare since we consider that if we are going to be able to build underwater, we will be wanting some new greenery to add to this place. So from the trailer, we can see we have some long algae, some long seaweeds extending to different lengths. So I don't know if we will be able to actually decide what the length of this seaweeds is going to be, or if it's going to be predetermined, and we will have to use magnet rise to move it by pressing Y. Also, we have this very leafy seaweed, which to my eyes, it seems like there's many different kinds of them for coloration and texture, but now I'm not sure if this is like it because of the light and shadows of the overworld, or if because it's actually like there is going to be different kinds of seaweeds, like similar, but with different textures, like we have flowers with different colors. Also, we have some corals, which is something really interesting because this means we have different kinds of not only seaweed but also sea flowers. Like we plant tulips and roses, we may be able to plant corals or anemone or something like this. Also, I noticed it's really interesting to see that there's also sludge underwater. Now, as I remember in the main game, to clean the spot, you had to bring a water Pokemon to do bubbles onto it, and then you would be able to clear it by throwing water at it. But if we are already underwater, how is that gonna work? Now, this is something I am wondering right now. Also, there's, as you can see, new kinds of rocks. It should be like the cold sea, rock, the one formed by the vents underwater, and it's especially something rare. I really love them. They would be useful into decorating. They would create really some cool environment. But what I'm actually wondering now is that we can surely bring rocks underwater because we were able to do that even before this DLC. But will we be able to bring this cold sea rocks above water? We'll be able to bring it into the lands. Also, as you can see here, we have different kinds of grass, like another special kind of grass that grows into this submarine terrain, and this was actually really logical and expected because we know that we are gonna have new Pokemon such as Popplio, for example, and all of its evolution line, so Brionne and Primarina. Also, there's going to be Mudkip and of course its evolution line up to Swampert. And so we knew that we needed a new kind of grass. Now, if we have a closer look at the buildings and all of the new blocks, I see there's something that is right there in the backgrounds. I'm sure I've never seen anything like that rock formation with this red line and then the green lines. Now, I'm sure we never saw this before in Pokopia. Also, there's this very cool underwater street light, which is something new and we never seen it. And also, I'm seeing flowers, if my eyes are not triggered, but I think this is a real flower, and I think it's something new. Now, it seems like the cotton flowers of the Sky Islands, but now I don't actually really recognize it from here. Also, there's this very strange item in the background that I cannot really identify because it's not clear. The image is really blurry, so it's not identifiable, but I'm sure that I've never seen anything like this. Now let's move on with the trailer to see what else is new. So we have a look at this new kind of fence, which is this red arched fence on top of this cliff. And it's really beautiful. I'm gonna use it even on the dry land, surely. And right here, I also see, even though I'm not sure, some ancient rocks blocks, like the one in the unknown puzzle temple. And I hope we'll be able to adventure in some kind of underwater temples, because that would be really interesting. Then we have a showcase of the new furniture, and we have this new beautiful Primarina themed dressing table slash desk, and it's one of my new favorite furniture piece. I'm surely gonna use it a lot. And near it we have a new small table with a pad stool. The underwater inspiration is clear. We have seashells decorations on top, and also corals as table legs, which is pretty original and works a lot with this piece. Then we have a closer look at the new fences. Now this is especially rare in my opinion because we don't have many fences in the game. We have the wooden fences, we have the iron fences, but that stops there because then we have the enclosures that actually do not work as fences. That's actually what we got. And with this new one, which is actually pretty cute and I think it would work even on the dry land, I think we are going to be able to do many beautiful creation with this. Now, here's something exciting. We have new costumes showcased, and the one I'm talking about right now is Brandon's costume, the one inspired by the third generation main character. And it's one I'm longing to wear because I love the character, I love the style, and I want to wear that uniform really bad. Okay, let's see. We have a closer look at one of the new Pokemons we are going to have, Poplio. Now, Poplio has always been one of my favorite Pokemon, and I'm so happy that he's finally here, especially for Primarina. We also have Mudkip and Corpish, which means we are also going to get Crawdaunt, which is a Pokemon that I like, but it's not one of my favorite, and I think this is the same for you all. And so, as we see, the pass itself was available for purchase since yesterday, since the live went off. And this at first stopped my beat because I was like, am I going to play this immediately? But this is not the case because you can purchase the pass immediately, but the expansions are going to be available in different dates. Indeed, we have 3 different release dates for 3 different sections of this expansion pass. The first is going to be in like 31 August 2026, and it's the one in which we will be able to unlock the Bubbly Basin, which is the new area we saw and analyzed until now. Then there's going to be one in late 2026. It's going to be released in Christmas probably. And for this, I hope they could release a new environment which was based out of a mountain or like a snowfield, something like that, because I need those snowy block to make my ice type themed city. But it's probably not going to be the case since for this particular section of the pass, it wasn't meant to have a new environment, but just new features. And also there's going to be a third part in 2027. Also, because of the colors that this graphic shows, we now know about the Bubbly Basin. So we know the first part is themed over water type Pokemon and sea, the beaches, but what about the others? Now, the coloration of the 2 other squares is a kind of pinkish red, and the other square is colored like yellowish green, which make me think that probably since they show the Bubbly Basin, which is themed over water, probably the other 2 parts of the expansion pass are going to be themed after fire and grass, so like the theme of the starters and their types. But I hope it isn't like this because I don't find it really exciting. I was really hoping for a snowy terrain. And now, moving on, we see there's also a little clip showing Manaphy. Now, about this Manaphy, I'm really confused because guys, I cannot be crazy. I know the Manaphy is pink. I know it is. Many people says it's lighting, it's shadows, but who knows? Maybe we're going to get a new Pokemon like we had like Greedent and Roto. Maybe we'll have a new Manaphy. Well, who could say? Also, for those who are going to purchase the DLC early, there's going to be two claimable gifts. The first is a new block resembling Ditto, and also the wallpaper and the carpet resembling Ditto in many different positions. And it's actually really cute, but I don't think I'm going to use it very much. But the most interesting claimable gift is going to be the 30 rare Pokemetal ingot, which is crazy because the rare Pokemon it's really rare as the name says. So I'm gonna get the yearly purchase just for this. Now, let's have a look at the prices of this new DLC. Now, as we see, the price for this Pokemon Pokopia expansion pass is going to be almost 35 US dollars, and also it's going to be 35 euros for those who live in Europe. So it's going to be a bit expensive, like more than any DLC, I guess, we ever saw on the Nintendo Switch. Because if I remember well, we had like a 20 euros or $20 DLC for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And the other Pokemon games are the DLCs of around $30. But now we are exceeding this by $5 more. But that's not a problem in my opinion, since Pokemon Pokopia offers a lot, the new DLC promises to offer even more, and I'm glad to actually support this project by buying the DLC. Now, that was almost everything I had to say. Now, if I missed something in this analysis and that is plausible, please let me know in the comment section and I will be happy to read them. So, hope to see you again in the next, and until then, keep reading. Bye bye!